Bonair's killer and Dread's killer were one and the same. Why don't we talk about the way Soda dragged up to mess left poor man's head?
His wig was definitely still on his head.
Did you notice Mr. Dread drinking his tea? I'm sorry, drinking.
Mr. Dread never touched his teeth.
Does it really matter whether you can hear a teacup breaking on the recording? Crime scene changed subtly between the transmission being interrupted and the police arriving.
Mr. Dread and yourself discussed the idea of a practical joke before the show. That's the real truth behind the death of DJ Dwight Dread.
Well, it's certainly an imaginative theory, but in the end it's just that. A theory. Poppycock!
A game theory.
You don't have a shred of evidence to support your claim that Dwight faked his own death, do you?
We do, it's the little handkerchief. Mr. Dread's hanky is proof of it.
Good grief. What does that taste, this bit of rag?
We found this hanky with a written note on it.
Does it say? Well, surprise.
It was this hanky that Mr. Dread were planning to show to let everyone know they'd been tricked. That's the only logical explanation for the cryptic message he wrote on it.
It would seem nothing but his handkerchief. Yet it was you who proposed the whole idea of the practical joke to the victim in the first place, no? Rubbish, I don't know anything about it. It must have been that tea girl who tricked Dwight with the idea of a foolish schoolboy prank. She's the one you want! You saw the fax she sent, didn't you? The one with the death threat? What golly, you even found a perfume bottle full of poison next to her, didn't you? Your chaps had it right the first time. They already identified that girl as the killer. You're wasting my time. I'm afraid that was a mistake.
Did you catch that?
I did.
She were dragged into this by you. You asked her to pull off the so-called practical joke.
Absolutely not! She tricked Dwight, murdered him, and then killed herself. End of story. She didn't kill herself. We have evidence to prove it.
The note on her hand. Miss Brewer made a very interesting note to herself. Allow me to read it to you. Thorold's sale, it says.
Well, arrest me now. What damning evidence indeed. Good. I see you've understood the significance of this note. It refers to an advert that was aired for the very first time straight after the show was interrupted. The note tells us two things. Firstly, Miss Brewer knew from the outset that Mr. Dread was going to collapse as part of the show.
She were a huge fan of his, so she really thought he had collapsed. She had never bothered with the ad.
And secondly, she intended to visit Barron's on the way home and have a look at the sale.
She'd hardly have bothered making a note on the sale if she were about to do herself in.
So you see, we can be fairly confident that Miss Brewer had no intention of committing suicide. Well, that's all very interesting. That's enough to get the woman was a killer. You can't hope to understand how such a person thinks, surely. And if she hadn't killed Dwight, why did she send that death threat veiled as a song request? The fax you're referring to was another suggestion of yours, was it not?
can hear it now. What you have said to the poor lass. Dwight wants to stage an amazing practical joke on the show, but really you do with your help. You knew she were a huge fan of Mr. Dread and the show. Of course she were going to agree. She'd have been shocked that you'd asked her. I bet she wrote that bogus death threat gladly, didn't she?
I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. After the show, we waited for a chance to slip off to the storeroom where Miss Brewer was waiting. Just like you did with Mr. Dread, we congratulated her on a job well done and offered her a cup of coffee.
The poor lass had no idea. I bet you were on cloud 9, thinking she'd done so much to help her idol. As she sips the deadly poison. That's the truth of the matter, isn't it, Mr. de Bonair?
My goodness! You have the most fantastic imagination! This could be a new radio drama!
How come you're still here? We smashed your alibis one by one.
My dear girl, I'm not about to admit to a crime I commit.
Oh, the music.
After all, this whole scenario you painted is utter fabrication.
No, it is not. We've backed up everything we've said with hard evidence.
No doubt. I suspect, in all likelihood, I've listened patiently to your conjecture for long enough. Now you listen to me. There's abundant and clear evidence that the tea girl killed herself. To start with, there's the handwritten request sheet. However you look at it, that request was a blatant death threat. It makes her intentions crystal clear.
Dude, we've already explained this.
Next, there's the perfume bottle full of poison. The same poison, I hasten to add, that was used to kill Dwight. She was found with that lethal substance in her possession. And if that isn't damning enough, she used the very same poison to kill herself. Finally, there's the fact that the girl was a die-hard fan of Dwight's.
That's another good pun. Fan fatale. Femme fatale.
Her twisted feelings for the poor man are what led to this tragedy in the first place. Faced with 3 irrefutable pieces of hard evidence like this, can you honestly suspect anyone else? Can you refute this evidence in any way, my dear? As I thought. So that's that then. Case closed.
Hey, you can't do that! Wait, no. I forgot I was supposed to move it forward. When did you... Funny turn again, Paul?
Dear me, you're still here.
This is our office!
Goodness, Mr. Layton, you seem a little, Disturbed? Get my name wrong again on purpose, and I'll personally cut out your tongue.
That's it, Prof! Suck it to him!
Good gracious! I'm not quite sure I can believe my ears. I assure you, a police officer. You are making me uncomfortable. I demand you allow me to go home, seeing as you have no evidence. We have evidence. Let's hear your patronizing 3 irrefutable pieces of hard evidence again, shall we? If you dare. I don't know why you suddenly assumed this menacing turn. Just get on with it. Very well. I'm not sure why I have to repeat myself about this, but firstly, the handwritten request sheet. Secondly, the perfume bottle full of poison. And thirdly, the fact that the tea girl was a die-hard fan of Dwight's. You have no idea, do you? The very words coming out of your mouth. What? One of your 3 irrefutable pieces of hard evidence, Mike, is just the irrefutable evidence that proves your guilt. Don't be absurd. Lucy, do you know which one it is?
I think I sort of do, and I sort of don't.
One of Bonair's 3 irrefutable pieces of hard evidence, and a piece of evidence from the crime scene. By comparing those 2 things, we prove beyond any doubt Mikey here is the killer.
Well, it's the perfume bottle of poison.
Yep.
Because if I remember correctly,
The bottle was
the
smashed,
bottle was smashed beyond recognition.
Yeah.
Exactly. You said the bits of broken glass were from a perfume bottle full of poison, Mr. Bonair. That's where you slipped up. You betrayed yourself rotten.
I'm sorry? You blurted something out that only the real killer could have known.
About those bits of broken glass in the storeroom. When I found out what the poison was in, I assumed they'd come from a pill bottle or somewhere. But the real killer wasn't carrying the poison in a pill bottle, were he? No, he was using a perfume bottle.
I know exactly how your devious mind was working. You'd always intended to leave the bottle of poison in the brewer's hand to make it look like suicide. That's why you very carefully chose a lady's perfume bottle. I don't know what you're talking about. After you'd poisoned Brewer, you placed the perfume bottle in her hand and left the storeroom. But then something happened that you hadn't banked on. The girl wasn't quite dead. I very much doubt she understood exactly what was happening. But she must have felt she needed to leave a sign, something to show how she was killed. Mustering all her remaining strength, she hurled the perfume bottle against the wall. It smashed in pieces, making it all but impossible to identify what it was. But of course, you didn't know that.
There's no way anyone could tell what sort of container those smashed bits of glass had made before they're smashed.
Even forensics are still hard at work, piecing them all back together.
Only one person could possibly know what shape it were originally. And that's the one who had put the poison in it in the first place. The killer.
Oh dear me! What a silly mistake! It seems I must have said the wrong thing! You said the wrong thing? You repeated it no less than 3 times, and yet you'd like to claim you said the wrong thing. Then you have me wrong. Yes, that's right. I never said any such thing.
Oh, no one to give it up for pity's sake!
If that's how you want to play it, let's listen to something. Huh? What?
This is de Bonair.
She's the one you want! You saw the fax she sent, didn't you? The one with the death threat! Good golly, you even found a perfume bottle full of poison next to her, didn't you? That was the first time. What? How did you... I played you a recording of Joe's last show, if you remember. It seems I must have accidentally not record when I'd finished.
Oh, you little devil pro! Fantastic!
I knew we didn't have enough evidence to pin it on you. That's why I got you to come here. I thought it'd be fitting to have the final piece of evidence come from the killer himself. To start with, there's the handwritten request sheet. However you look at it, that request was a blatant death threat, which makes her intentions crystal clear. Next, there's the perfume bottle full of poison. That was the second time.
Try to interrupt. Little direction. Taunt him. This is gloating.
Would you like to hear the third?
Much better.
No!
Oh,
You
hurt
win.
yourself. Hey, you've given up at last.
So soon? How dull. I was hoping to tighten the screws on much more than that. What a disappointment you are.
Poof! You're back.
Yes. Sorry about that.
No, don't apologize. I'm getting quite used to it now. And anyways, if it weren't so bad this time. You snapped out of it without too much trouble. In fact, I'm a little worried that it were a bit too easy.
Mr. Bonair, there's one more thing I'd like to ask you.
A little louder.
What? You haven't once called the tea lady by her name in all the time we've been talking. What of it? Do you not even know the name of the woman you murdered? Of course I do. It was, Charlotte, wasn't it?
No, you flaming well weren't. No, it flaming well weren't. You really are scum, aren't you?
The lady's name was Anise. Anise Brewer. the lady who smashed the bottle you put in her hand, ensuring you take the rap for your crimes. Oh, I'll remember this, Layton. You see?
Yes, Prof?
Take Mr. Dave Bad Air to a holding cell, would you?
Mike de Bonair, I'm arresting you for multiple accounts of murder.
I'm Dave Bonair, not Dave Bad Air.
Inspector! De Bonair squealed like a mouse on helium. The bunny spewed its guts out until it was empty inside. Yeah, enough of that. You're making me feel queasy. Don't you want to know what the punk's motive was? Do I ever? De Bonair's been doing this Chinese squeeze on the radio station accounts, creaming off profits. Oh! Yep. But when Dredd found out about it, he started ringing De Bonair for cash like a wet towel. So De Bonair bumped him off.
And what is the relationship between Brewer and De Bonair?
I've covered every angle on that, but I've got nothing. Zilch. The gink and that dame didn't have a scrap of shared history. They were totally unrelated.
What about Brewer and Dredd?
The more I looked into that, the less of a connection they seemed to have. In fact, I put my money on De Bonair just laying on the rumors that they were a couple. That low-life old goon! Goon? You're not in the mob, Lucy. Do you have to talk like that? I would just...
I'm not feeling very well. I think I'll head off home now.
Oh, well, I got some news that might cheer you up a bit before you go, Prof. Ooh, spill the beans then, Lucy. Put us wise. Dolly's bringing out a new single soon.
Dolly? Are you talking about the young lady Sniffer brought in by mistake?
Hey, every copper pinches the wrong greaser from time to time. Aye, Dolly Holiday! This new track's causing quite a stir already, and it hasn't even been released.
Oh? Why's that?
She called it I'll Be the Death of You. Holy smoke! Isn't that the infamous request? Aye, the lass has gotten herself onto the cover of every magazine because of it.
She's a smart one.
But it's the B-side that's got me worried. That one... That one's called Macho Man in a White Gown.
It's a bit of a strange title, I grant you. But what's worrying about it?
What? You don't see?
Don't see what?
No. Oh, nothing! Never mind then! That's what I thought. I was like, I don't... You remember this guy?
No.
This is, Justin Lawson.
Who voiced him?
You.
What did I voice him?
He's a bit gruff. You hear, Sniffer?
You hear, Sniffer?
Yeah. Oh, you just missed him, Justin. He went home a few minutes ago.
He's got a cheek, that lad, leaving the office before his boss. Don't blow your top, Justin. You two here? Are you well? Of course I am. This is my office, after all. Your home, more like.
I'm just imagining him sleeping on the desk.
So, how's it been going? Had any incidents recently?
You mean like with the Jekyll and Hyde moment? With the prof's dark side?
If that's how you want to describe it. Talk of the devil, and he'll appear.
Much better. Yeah, his voice is much more taunting. Good.
Bayek! You scared the wits out of me! And there's no crook here, so...
I hadn't realized you could change so easily. It's been a long time, Justin. In fact, yes, our paths haven't crossed since Rydman's castle, have they? Remember? I couldn't forget that if I wanted to. It was memorable, wasn't it? Both of us working together to solve the case.
You two work together?
Except it still isn't solved, is it? Because you refuse to tell what you know. If it wasn't for that, we'd have solved it long ago. I really don't know what you mean. Fine. If you don't want to discuss it, let's forget it. Leave us alone. As you wish. You know how to find me if you need me again. I'd be glad to show up for my old partner anytime. Any time at all.
Prof, are you right?
Yes. Thank you, Lucy. I'm fine. Did you hear him? Anytime, he said. Did you hear that, Al? Yes, I heard. Have you been in touch with your brother recently? This is my problem, Justin. What, you think you can manage him on your own? Only a son of Herschel, Layton, would even entertain the idea. Well, if that's how you feel, I'll keep my nose out of it. Sorry. Right, I'm off. I wish you all the best, Al. I just hope things don't turn against you.
Excuse me, but what's all this?
You needn't concern yourself with it at the moment, Lucy.
But it's bugging me. It's also intriguing.
You'll find out sometime, whether you want to or not. Assuming, of course, that you stay on as my assistant. And I hope that you do.
We're starting to get to the good stuff. We're starting to get into it now. What did you think of the case?
I was not expecting a double murder, I'll give it that.
If I recall, in the past, you've said, like, the past case you were like, I'm starting to fall into a pattern, and you weren't liking that.
Yes.
But, but I will say something else you had said in the past is that this constantly has shifted your expectations. Every case has. Did this continue to do that?
Like I said, I wasn't expecting the double murder.
Yeah.
And I kind of came into this without expectations because it's been so long.
Yeah.
So,
Did you at least enjoy it?
yes, I did.
I'm so
It's not
glad.
often I get the voice act.
I'm so glad I got to get back into this because I love this game and this reminded me. And I forgot about that part. I thought that part happened in the next case, but that means another even more exciting part happens in the next case. We're starting to get, from here on out, we start to get a lot more focused on the plot, like, of the overarching story. At this point, we've set up the characters. We know pretty much almost all of the characters that are needed for the final few cases are here. So we're getting to the good stuff. And I'm really excited to see what you think of it all. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!